We are live with Lunch Break Live. Dianne Wenz, amazing vegan chef, vegan for 20 years. What are you making today?
Today we're making white bean shakshuka.
Oh my goodness, I love the way you say that. So take it away, shakshuka, take it away and start cooking. All yours.
Okay, so shakshuka is traditionally made with eggs, but today we're using tofu, and this is super firm, it's extra firm tofu that I've drained and pressed, and then I've cut it into 16 little triangles. First, I cut it into 8 slabs, and then I cut each slab into a triangle. And so I already have my skillet preheated here, and I'm just gonna, there's a little bit of oil on the skillet, so I'm just gonna put them in here. And you just wanna let them sit.
Okay.
You don't really need to fuss with it very much.
Is it on a medium burner? Is that what
Yeah, it's medium.
Okay.
And I'm using cast iron here. Cast iron takes a while to heat up, but then it gets really hot. And so you kind of have to adjust the heat depending on your pan. Like if you're using a stainless steel pan, you might need to have the heat a little higher. On a nonstick, you might have to have it a little lower. But nonstick, you're going to have it cook a little longer because just because you need to have it lower. Nonstick's not good to have on a high heat.
Okay. How did you first discover the shakshuka recipe?
It's just something I see a lot in different, I like to read omnivore cooking magazines just to get ideas of things that I can veganize. That's how I get my inspiration. And so this is something I've seen a lot in cooking magazines, and I wanted to try it with tofu.
I love it. Okay, what do we have here?
So this, usually I do this in the same pan. I'll cook the tofu and then take it out and then cook the vegetables. But to save time, I've got 2 pans going here. So this is onions. It's half a chopped onion. And I'm going to put it in here. I've got this on medium heat. And you just want to cook it. You can hear it's all sizzly.
Hello and welcome everybody to Lunch Break Live. I see Tina and Christy and all the others that have joined us here. Thank you for joining us. We're here daily, 12:30 to 1 o'clock Pacific time. We've got Dianne in the kitchen who is coming to us from New Jersey. She's going to show us her cookbook in a little bit. She has 3 cookbooks on the market and a brand new one out. Very exciting. Here, show us that now. Come close. Let me see. It's the Big Book of Vegan Cooking.
This came out last month.
Yowza.
The shakshuka recipe is from the cookbook.
Scrumptious.
So I've got the onion cooking here, and you want to cook it for a few minutes until it gets brown. It gets a little brown, gets a little fragrant. I've had the burner going for a little while, so the burner was nice and hot when I added this. So that's why it's cooking pretty quickly. So shakshuka is it's a dish that originated in Tunisia in northern Africa, and then it kind of made its way to the Middle East. And it's basically just eggs in a tomato-based sauce with tomatoes and red peppers and some onions. And so we're using you might see a cat walk through the kitchen. So we're using we're using tofu instead of the eggs. And I'm also going to add a little bit of white bean at the end just to give it a little texture and to give it a little more protein. So the onions are looking nice and brown here.
Okay. All right. So you've been vegan for 20 years. You've been perfecting your recipes. And I love that you're so confident to look at other look at omnivore magazines and veganize them. So, wow. And what do you have there in your hands? Is that garlic?
So this is just 2 cloves of minced garlic. So I'm going to add them to the pan. Yeah, so I would encourage people that are just starting out with vegan cooking to take a look at, this is a chopped red pepper, and I'm going to add that too. And I'm going to cook these for about 5 minutes until they soften. So people who are new to vegan cooking, I would encourage you to just take a look at some of your favorite recipes and just think about how you can veganize them. So if it's something that's made with eggs, you can probably use tofu like I'm using here. If it's something that's made with meat, you could also use tofu. You might be able to use seitan or tempeh. Just think about what things you can swap out. If it's got cheese in it, you might be able to use vegan cheese, or maybe even just like a sprinkling of nutritional yeast. So I would encourage people to, to play around in the kitchen. And it's really difficult to like break a recipe. Like if you make a mistake, it might even be better if you make a mistake. That's how I've made some of my favorite recipes, just making mistakes and trying things.
Okay, I have to ask you about that incredible spice rack. Did you create that yourself? Did you put that up yourself?
These are actually, it's kind of an IKEA hack. These are IKEA picture ledges. And then these are IKEA jars. And then I just got labels that I put on top of all the spices.
That is a true chef, having everything right there.
Well, they say you shouldn't store the spices by the heat, but it's inconvenient. I used to have the spices on the other side of the kitchen, and I was constantly going back and forth, and this is just more convenient.
I love it. I love it. Talk about some of your favorite things to cook in your own kitchen. What are your go-tos?
You can never go wrong with a stir fry. If I don't know what to cook, I'll just see what's in the fridge and chop up some vegetables, throw them in a pan, maybe make some peanut sauce or just some, just like a quick, easy teriyaki sauce with some tamari or some Bragg's aminos. I love pesto and pasta. I make pizza. I just get pizza dough from Whole Foods, and I make pizza like once a week, and I change it up. Sometimes I put tomato sauce and maybe like some Italian spice seitan and some mozzarella, vegan mozzarella, of course. And sometimes I use pesto and a little bit of arugula. You can put anything on a pizza. I've had people ask me, what do you do with pizza since you're vegan? I put anything on it. And same with tacos. I'll put anything in a taco shell. I'll put Brussels sprouts on tacos, cauliflower, beans, you name it.
Sounds all good. Delicious. I love it. I want to show everybody how we actually are also we're doing a couple lives here. We've also got the live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Just wanted everybody to know that today. Thank you for joining us here. And this recipe will be available on our JaneUnchained.com website there, Jane Unchained. But also I wanted to encourage everybody to get that book. Now, is it the big book of vegan cooking? I love it. How many recipes are in there? I think it's
175.
175, y'all.
Yeah, that's like the big book.
That's a good one.
So you want to cook the tofu. I mean, I just left it undisturbed. You want to cook it for about 5 minutes on each side until it's starting to turn brown, a little golden there. So I'm going to flip them over. And, they might stick a little bit. That's okay if it sticks. Yeah. You can see how it's just this nice golden brown.
Definitely. That looks delicious. Yeah. So we were talking about how this is a Mediterranean dish. Today we had on, I wanted to just say, I don't know if everybody out there has heard about the 100% plant-based hospital in Beirut, Lebanon. And Jane interviewed the creator, the owner now, the doctor who has made that happen. It's pretty incredible. So veganizing mainstream dishes that traditionally require eggs or animal products of any kind is a challenging, but Dianne is always up for the challenge.
Yeah, I'm always up for a challenge in the kitchen. So I don't want to lift this because it's hot, but the vegetables are getting soft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some spices. So this is a little bit of paprika, some oregano, cumin, coriander, salt, and black pepper. So I'm going to add them.
Okay.
And then I've got, this is 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes.
Okay.
And I'm going to add that.
Ooh, that looks so savory.
And then I've got a can of navy beans. I like to use navy beans because they're small and I think it just adds itself nicely to the sauce. But if you don't have navy beans, you can use cannellini, you can use Great Northern, any kind of white bean would be good in here. And like I said, white beans aren't traditional to the dish, but I add it just because I like the texture and I just thought it's a good nutrient boost. A little boost of protein, even though there's plenty of protein in this dish from everything else. But it's just nice to have that texture in there. Yeah. So you want to mix it all up.
Yes, go ahead. I was going to say
Yeah.
you have multiple certifications in nutrition. You're certified in holistic health your health coach, holistic health coach, vegan lifestyle coach, and the plant-based diet nutrition specialist.
Yeah, I have the certificate in plant-based diet nutrition from eCornell, and I went to Victoria Moran's Main Street Vegan Academy, and then I've also attended Institute for Integrative Nutrition back in 2009. So I'm a certified health coach as well as a vegan lifestyle coach. And so I help a lot of people go vegan. A lot of people that come to me that want to go vegan, they're not sure how to do it, or they've tried to go vegan and they just were eating like Gardein and burgers and stuff, Coke and fries. So I help them make a nutritious, make the nutritious change.
Yes.
And this is about 2 cups of chopped spinach. So I'm going to add that.
Great. Now, I'm not sure who on our Jane Unchained team, but somebody's asking, what type of pan is that and why is it best? They keep buying and ruining non-stick pans. I kind of have a feeling that might be Jane watching, but go ahead.
I've done that myself. I've gone through many non-stick pans, and they work well for a while. And then the problem is non-stick pans can only take a low heat. And I don't know about you, but I want my tofu crispy and I want my food to cook faster. So when you're using on a high heat, it kind of ruins the coating, and then everything winds up sticking. Plus, it's not so great. I mean, with those, you have to be really careful. You don't want to ingest any of the Teflon. It's not so great for our bodies, and it's not so great for the environment. You can use a stainless steel. This part of the dish would certainly be okay in a stainless steel pan. You'd have to watch the tofu didn't stick. I'm using a cast iron skillet, and I've had this for a few years now. When you get a cast iron skillet, you want to season it by putting some oil on it and then baking it for a little while. I don't remember how long you're supposed to bake it, but the more you use your cast iron skillet, the more nonstick it becomes, just from the buildup of the seasons and the oils. So that's why I'm using cast iron today. And I do have a ceramic pan. Ceramic is like supposed to be an environmental, healthier version of nonstick, but I do find the tofu does stick to the ceramic as well. So that's why I'm using, this is a small cast iron skillet, and this is a cast iron pan. So that's why I'm using them today.
Would you mind showing us some of the recipes in your delicious book over there? I think 75 recipes that chock full. I'm so excited. And you can order this anywhere, yeah?
Yeah, any place that has books. So there's a taco salad. I love tacos of any form. I'm borderline tacotarian. This is one of my favorite salads. It's made with farro and butternut. No, it's not butternut squash. It's sweet potatoes and arugula. I love that's a really great salad to have in the warmer month or the cooler months. Now that it's now that it's getting warmer, there's some salads here too. There isn't a picture, but one of my favorites is this peanut mango tango. There's no picture of that, unfortunately.
I love the name, peanut mango tango.
Yeah, here is the, I just had it. Here's the shakshuka. There's the professional photo of it.
Yes, yes.
What else do we have here? Pesto. I love pesto. It's my favorite pasta sauce. And I love it because you can hide many different types of greens in there. So this one uses spinach. I quite often make it with arugula as well. You just mix in pesto is traditionally made with basil. And here I've mixed in some spinach. You can mix in whatever you like, just whatever kinds of greens. Sometimes I use kale as well. Cheesecake, chocolate cherry cheesecake. Chocolate cherry is my favorite flavor combination. So
me too. I love that recipe is worth the ordering that book.
Mushroom Wellington, that's a good one for holidays.
Yes, delish. Oh my goodness.
Wow. So this is you want to let this simmer for about 10 minutes or so, and it seems to be doing really well here. It seems to be nice and simmered, and then the tofu is looking really good. It's brown on both sides. Another thing you can do too, if you want to do this quickly and you don't have 2 pans, you got an air fryer, you can throw this into the you can throw your tofu into the air fryer, give it like a little spritz of oil. You can see there
Yeah.
it's nice and brown. So you can give the tofu a little spritz of oil, throw it in the air fryer, and cook it on 400 for about 10 minutes. Flip it. You want to flip it at the halfway point. Cook it for about 10 minutes. So you can have that going in. That's my air fryer back there. You can have it going in your air fryer while you're cooking the shakshuka sauce.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, that's about it, really.
Well, okay. So
you
inquiring minds want to know, as you're still working with that, what had you go vegan 20 years ago? You are quite a pioneer.
Yeah.
20 years ago. So what, if you don't mind sharing with us your vegan story, we'd love to. Yeah.
So I mean, I never wanted to eat meat. When I was younger, I remember asking my parents why we had cats and dogs as pets and we were eating pigs and cows. I was really little. I remember asking that question. I never wanted to eat meat. I was that kid, you know, when you're supposed to eat your broccoli, you can't leave the table until you eat all your broccoli. I couldn't leave the table until I ate my pork chop. I just didn't like eating meat. And then when I got older, when I was in college, I discovered that vegetarianism was a thing. And so I was like, okay, I'm not eating meat anymore. And I gradually gave up. I gave up red meat first, and then I gave up poultry. I never ate fish, so that wasn't an issue for me. And so that was close to 30 years ago. And then I had read a book, and it was a book I just picked up on the bargain table at Borders. It was called the Perfectly Content Meat Eater's Guide to Vegetarianism. It was like $5 on the bargain table at Borders, and it talked about the things that went on in the dairy farms and in the egg hatcheries, and I was just really horrified by it. And so I first gave up eggs. I used to always go for my lunch break, when I worked in the office, I used to go to a salad bar all the time. And I used to put hard-boiled eggs in my salad for protein. And I looked at the egg one time and it just really dawned on me what it was. And I was like, I can't eat this anymore. And then because of that book, that's what really made me give up dairy. And at the same time, I grew up with lots of allergy and sinus problems, and I would get these terrible headaches. And so around the same time that I read that book, I was getting really bad headaches. Doctors didn't know what to do with me. I was kind of fed up. I went to see an acupuncturist, and the acupuncturist suggested I give up dairy. And so I had read that book. He told me I should give up dairy. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. And I'll tell you, within 2 weeks, I was done with the headaches. So it was mainly for the animals, but I wanted to see how my health would do without dairy and eggs. And it was amazing. It was like night and day.
That's an incredible story. Wow. A full health story, as well. Actually, it's kind of a combination, health and ethics at the same time. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your story. That's incredible. This recipe shows us, by the way, the ease of making this dish. I mean, this happened in 15 minutes, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took me about 5-10 minutes to chop the vegetables before we started. This is a really good weeknight dish. Some people serve it for breakfast because of the eggs, but in a lot of countries, it's actually a dinner dish. So, it's just a really quick weeknight dish. If you think you don't have time to cook, you can cook dinner after work. This would be done faster than ordering takeout.
I love it. Okay, let's see the final dish. Oh, wait, you're adding the.
So I put the tofu in there, and this is just some chopped parsley. So yeah. I'm just gonna put the parsley in there. Just put it on top.
We can get this recipe over on the Jane Unchained website. We try to get it up, but it's good to check within a day and a half. Oh my!
So there's the finished dish. That's actually very hot and heavy. So I'm just going to show you the plate of it. So there you go.
Dianne, that's incredible.
Four. Hey. 2 if you're really hungry, 4 if you're not.
Exactly. And I want to give a shout out to our friends Vegan Mo's, who recommended that we invite you on. And I'm so thrilled.
Yes, thank you to Michael and Ethan.
Michael and Ethan, we have never had this dish on before. This is a first time for shakshuka. Thank you so much for showing us how to make this. Again, this is Paige Parsons Roach reporting to you live from Los Angeles and New Jersey, where we brought you Lunch Break Live, a delicious Mediterranean traditional dish. Also from, where did you say, what part of Africa was this originally from?
Tunisia.
Tunisia. And we are grateful that you joined us. Can you show us your book one more time? We'll take it out on with Lunch Break Live, Dianne Wenz, Chef Extraordinaire, the big book of vegan cooking, 175 delicious vegan recipes. Thanks, everybody. Again, we'll see you next time on Lunch Break Live.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.